Welcome to Dr. Balaga's God Knowledge Doc podcast, your quick dive into the latest medical breakthroughs to keep you ahead of the curve. Let's get started. Today is August 25th, 2025. This video is on a paper published in European Heart Journal, released on 21st August 2025, titled Residual Cholesterol and Inflammatory Risk in Statin-treated Patients Undergoing Percutaneous coronary intervention, from the Mount Sinai group. There was an accompanying editorial titled Residual Cardiovascular Risk Beyond LDL Cholesterol, Inflammation, Remnant Cholesterol, and Lp(a). Despite statins, patients undergoing PCI exhibit residual cardiovascular risk. Both LDL cholesterol and inflammation via high sensitivity CRP are implicated. The objective of the study is to assess the impact of residual cholesterol, LDL cholesterol greater than 70 milligrams per deciliter, and inflammatory risk with the hsCRP above equal to or greater than 2 milligrams per liter. On MACE after, that is major cardiovascular events after percutaneous coronary intervention. The study cohort comprised of 15,494 patients from the Mount Sinai PCI registry from 2012 to 2022, mean age 66 years, 27% were women. Stratification: 4 groups based on LDL cholesterol and high sensitivity CRP thresholds. First, no residual risk. Second, residual cholesterol risk. Third, residual inflammatory risk. And fourth, combined risk. Follow-up: 1 year post-PCI. Primary endpoint: MACE, major adverse cardiovascular events, that is all-cause mortality, MI, and strokes. What did they find? MACE rates were highest in residual inflammatory risk, 5.1%, followed by combined risk, 3.7%, no residual risk, 2.6%, and cholesterol risk alone, 2.3%. Adjusted hazard ratio for inflammatory risk was 1.78, p-value 0.001, and for cholesterol risk, hazard ratio 1.01, not significant. Limitations of the study: no data on statin intensity or adherence, no follow-up high sensitivity CRP or LDL cholesterol, only 1 year follow-up. Key takeaway of the study: inflammation, not LDL cholesterol, is the dominant residual risk factor post-PCI in statin-treated patients. Implications: supports high sensitivity CRP use in risk stratification and potential anti-inflammatory therapies, example colchicine, IL-1 beta inhibitors. The editorial talks about the main finding, that is, in PCI treated patients, high sensitivity CRP equal to or greater than 2 milligrams per liter, a marker of inflammation, predicted MACE better than LDL cholesterol greater than 70 milligrams per liter. The editorial insight was that LDL cholesterol is a poor marker of residual risk once statins are on board. High sensitivity CRP, remnant cholesterol, and Lp(a) may be better targets. The implication was time to think beyond LDL cholesterol. Anti-inflammatory therapy, remnant cholesterol, and Lp(a) deserve greater clinical attention. Individuals beyond eponyms: J.D. Friedwald, American biochemist who developed the Friedwald formula to estimate LDL cholesterol. Terje Pedersen, Norwegian cardiologist who led the 4S trial validating statin use in coronary heart disease. Peter Libby and Paul Littker, co-leaders of the CANTOS, establishing IL-1 beta inhibition as an anti-inflammatory cardiovascular strategy. Paul Littker, Harvard cardiologist and pioneer in high-sensitivity CRP as a marker and target for vascular inflammation. While I was a cardiology fellow at the Brigham, both Paul and Peter were senior faculty cardiologists there. Jean-Claude Tardif was a Canadian cardiologist who led the Colcott trial using colchicine post-MI. Mark Nidorf, Australian cardiologist who proved colchicine's efficacy in chronic coronary artery disease in the LODOCO-2 trial. Anders Warburg and Borg Nordestgaard were Danish researchers linking remnant cholesterol to inflammation and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease in genetics. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your colleagues. When we change how we see disease, we change how we shape lives. Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and keep seeking wisdom. Podcast brought to you by Master MedFacts at mastermedfacts.com.